In a remote Hmong village, somewhere in Laos, lived a young couple, Li and Sheng. Their love was passionate and deep, and they vowed to be together forever, even beyond this world. One fateful night, under the glowing moon, they sealed their bond with a blood vow, promising to be united in both life and death. However, fate had a twisted plan in store for them. One night, as the people in their village fled an unexpected attack by the enemy, their families became separated. When they reunited in a refugee camp weeks later, there was no word of Li's whereabouts. Sheng was devastated and heartbroken. She mourned the loss of her love, grieving for the shattered dreams of building a new life together in America. Time passed, and Sheng attempted to rebuild her life. Slowly, she found solace and sought to move forward. She eventually met a charming man, too, who became the love of her life. Their connection grew, and they decided to marry, hoping for a future filled with happiness. On the night of their honeymoon, as they arrived at Tu's house, a chilling feeling settled over the place. The atmosphere seemed heavy with an inexplicable dread. Tu tried to brush it off as mere nerves, but as the night wore on, strange events began to unfold. Tu was suddenly awakened. Something had pulled off the covers from him and was sitting at the foot of the bed. Its weight was heavy, like a boulder. However, when he glanced over at Sheng, she was underneath the blanket and in a deep slumber. Tu rolled out of bed and turned on the lights to find nothing menacing in the bedroom. In the following weeks, Tu was tormented by terrifying paranormal activities that seemed to go unnoticed by his wife, Sheng. It was as though he had an invisible enemy waiting to attack him. Tu would see a shadowy figure behind his own reflection. The shower curtain would violently open on its own while he was showering, and the first bite of food always tasted spoiled. At night, a terrifying entity would sit at the foot of the bed and stare at him with hate. Desperate for answers, he confronted Sheng about the paranormal occurrences. Her face turned pale, and she hesitated before revealing the haunting truth. She confessed about the blood vow she made with Li, pledging eternal togetherness. Tu was taken aback, struggling to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Determined to find a resolution, they sought the help of a highly respected shaman who was well versed in ancient rituals and the spirit world. The shaman performed elaborate ceremonies to break the blood vow, attempting to sever the ties that bound Sheng to her deceased lover. For a brief moment, it seemed like the spirits were appeased, and peace returned to the newlywed couple's life. However, the tranquility was short-lived. Sheng's health began to deteriorate rapidly, and the light in her eyes faded away. The sinister presence that plagued them before returned with a vengeance. Tu was desperate to save his wife, and the shaman doubled his efforts to fight the malevolent forces. But it was as if the very fabric of reality was against them. The ancient blood vow had a hold on Sheng's soul that even the shaman's most potent rituals couldn't break, and medical doctors couldn't diagnose. As the days turned into nights, Sheng's condition worsened, and Tu felt helpless, unable to protect the love of his life from the unworldly grasp of the past. The evil entity feeding off the blood vow seemed insatiable, relentlessly tormenting Sheng and tearing her away from the world of the living. In the end, Sheng succumbed to the malevolent force that had clung to her since the blood vow's inception. Members in their Hmong community mourned the tragic loss of a young life and the twisted love that had led to her demise. The story of Sheng and Li's blood vow lived on as a cautionary tale among the Hmong people. It served as a stark reminder that even the strongest of loves could have dark consequences, and some promises were better left unspoken, lest they bind one's soul to the malevolent forces that lurked beyond the veil of life and death.